Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing a review for 10 Cloverfield Lane. Yeah, I'm finally getting a review for this. I actually watched this movie close to a, a little, about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, who knows. Yeah, sorry for getting this review up so late. I've school tests, SATs and shit like that, EOCs. That's what's been fucking me up. So yeah, um, this cast is really short. It just stars John Goodman, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and John Gallagher Jr. That's really it. And a small cameo appearance or voice appearance by Bradley Cooper. And a small voice appearance. But yeah, aside from that, that's basically the cast. So as usual, 10-second spoiler warning for those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already. Stop the video, go check it out, and come back and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already, please do comment down below or be messaging me that I never gave you a fair warning, because as usual I did. So as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. So yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane. I guess it's supposed to take place in the same Cloverfield universe as the original movie, which I actually never watched the original movie. So yeah, funny thing, when the trailer dropped, I was like, I don't get it. I didn't understand the title. I still don't understand the title. Yeah, but I never understood it, and I was like, okay, I don't care. I like the movie. I'm gonna say that much. I loved the movie, but I still do not get the title. So yeah, basically you have a Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and she is saved slash captured, depending on how you want to see it, by John Goodman. John Goodman's he's this satellite operator who's known that this may happen anytime soon. So he gets in there, and his neighbor he kind of lets his neighbor in. So him and his neighbor are kind of just surviving down there with Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and the three of them are just basically surviving, trying to ride out the apocalypse. However, Howard, John Goodman's character, he has some interesting tendencies, to say the least. And at times you may be suspicious of him on what his true motives are, and then at other times he may just be normal, everyday, cool, chill guy like the dude, John Goodman. So yeah, so John Gallagher and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, their characters eventually figure out who Howard really is, who John Goodman really is, who he really is, and who he really is. Basically, they find out that he kidnapped this one girl, which they thought, or at least John Gallagher, because he lived around that area, who they thought went missing years earlier. Turns out, he in fact captured her, and then it seems may have murdered her. So they're basically they're trying to kill him and escape. Eventually, Mary Elizabeth Winstead manages to escape. John Gallagher dies. John Goodman dies, and you have Mary Elizabeth Winstead who manages to escape. And we are brought into the Cloverfield world where you have these fucking monsters who are trying to kill anything that's living. Eventually, she's a pretty kick-ass character. I'm not gonna lie. She could defend herself. Because she got in a car crash. Thanks to John Goodman's character. She initially got in a car crash, but after she settled herself and everything, she could kick ass. She kicks some of these aliens' asses, or do they have asses? I don't know. But she kills these aliens, which is pretty cool, and then heads to Houston. So yeah, now this is a really contained film. I mean, you have three characters who are stuck underground, and you don't really know what's going on in the outside world. You get small glimpses of the outside world, and I really like that. But overall, it's a really dialogue-driven movie as a whole. It's driven by its style, dialogue, and acting. I really did enjoy that aspect of the movie. That's honestly probably the best aspect of this movie. I don't tend to watch that much of John Goodman's films, to be honest. Not because I don't like them. It's just because I just don't. Some of the films I have watched of his are, aside from this, I've watched Monsters Inc. I've watched Argo, The Gambler, and I'm going over his IMDb to see what other movies he has. I have let's see. So I've watched those two. I haven't watched The Big Lebowski yet. Yeah, sorry about that. So I didn't watch that. But movies I have seen: Monsters Inc., Argo, this one, 10 Cloverfield Lane. Um, Let me see what else is there. Yeah, Argo, The Campaign. Apparently he was in that, so I watched that. I mean, I haven't really watched that. The Princess and the. I watched parts of it. I'm not gonna say I watched the whole thing, but I watched parts of that movie. B movie. I remember. I know I watched. Cars. I watched Cars. Um. Yeah. I don't think I've watched that many of his movies, to be honest. From what I'm seeing, the Flintstones. I may have watched that. Yeah, I watched it. Now when I was a kid, um, I mean 9, 10, maybe 11. So yeah, so I haven't really watched that many John Goodman movies, which I know is kind of a shame. But yeah, I mean he definitely is one of the best actors around. And just because I haven't watched many of his movies, especially probably one of his biggest movies being Big Lebowski, um, I will say I am disappointed in myself to a certain degree, but again, it's just what happens, how life is. But yeah, I will say he's a great actor. Probably one of the best performances by an actor this year so far. He is very intimidating. He could go from like being really intimidating to like just being the nicest person ever. So kind of like bipolar. So that was pretty cool. Overall, really cool movie. I really did the special effects for the aliens. That was pretty cool, and what they were able to do with that. That was pretty cool. And the outside world was pretty cool. Again, I really did like the contained aspect of it. How it's just really a contained world. It's just them in this bunker trying to survive. And then overall, that was pretty cool. I will say there's in the story wise, okay, which makes the movie even better. One of the things that makes you suspicious of his character is the fact that he lies. He lies. Sometimes he tells the truth eventually, but sometimes he lies. And one of the biggest, I don't know if it's a lie or just like a story plot point that they kind of missed or whatever, but you have this lady who kind of dies in front of the compound, in front of the, yeah, I guess the compound, the safe house or whatever, or underground safe house, like right at the door. She dies. She's like, let me in," but she dies because of the thing that's in the air. At the end of the film, we see her in this house, like it's right next to the door of the compound, but it's right in this barn. We see her in there when Mary Elizabeth Winstead is trying to escape these aliens. And I honestly thought, when did her body get from point A to point B? I feel like John Goodman knew a bit more. His character knew a bit more than what he was letting on. And yeah, overall, really cool movie. Really did like it. Definitely one of the best thrillers. Well, definitely one of the best movies of this year. Period. And yeah, and I compared this movie to The Green Room, as they are very similar in style, and their style and everything. How you have these characters contained. I will say this is the better film, but I do think that it is. I wouldn't. Yeah, compared to The Green Room, and I did, and I. But however, I like both movies, but I will say that this one is better in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'll give this movie a 9 out of 10. It's a fantastic movie. It's a great movie. I really did enjoy it. Again, really character-driven movie as a whole. And yeah, overall, I just liked it. And yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. Comment down below on your thoughts on the movie. Have you seen it? And if not, why not? If you have, what are your thoughts on it? Comment all that down below. Let me know. Like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.